Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. I am back, and today we're going to be talking about Sun token, the new Sun token, of course. Today is going to be quite different from my usual analysis because today I'm going to dive deeper. Sun has not really made any good move, and today we're going to try to break down the analysis using multi-time frame. So this analysis, we're going to look at the daily chart, the 4 hours chart, the weekly chart, and we might also look at the 1 hour chart because there's no much data based on the data here. Monthly chart will take a peep at the chart as well. So do stick by. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla, and if you know me, my analysis, I do not use indicators. So it's going to be pure price action, and I'll be drawing the chart from scratch. So if you're already a pro, you can always skip the video to where the main analysis starts because I'll take my time to draw the chart as well as why explaining it before making the claims of the predictions. So if you want to learn the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy called the box strategy, because that's what I'll be using in this analysis, I developed it myself. You can actually visit my website and learn more about me, get to know me more, Bitcoin Gorilla, and know about my family called the Makaveli traders and how you can become a part of it, right? So I'll leave the link under this video. So let's break down Sun. I am going to first start by, as usual, getting the all-time high. And from my last analysis till now, I think we have a new all-time low, which is around 0.0135 range. So I'm going to take note of that with that. So I'm also going to bring in more of these lines to take note of the obvious in your face kind of support and resistance that has been printed on the chart history so far since after the redenomination. Now, the thing about Sun is since the redenomination, volume has not been that strong, right? Remember, the only two things that move price is buyers and sellers. And it's unfortunately that since after the redenomination of Sun, the crypto community itself have not been strong and has been experiencing the downside since November. So you can see that it is affecting all altcoin. It's affecting Bitcoin. It's affecting Ethereum. So it is also affecting Sun. So this has delayed quite some of the movement, right? And has pushed Sun to find a new low. So is Sun going to keep going down more? We're going to find out in this video. So what I just brought in is the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy, and I'm going to try as much as possible to take note of the all-time resistance, all-time support, not resistance. All-time support is right here. So I'm going to take note of that. I'm going to try to change the color to probably blue, and as well as I'm going to also get the all-time resistance area of this box. And then, as usual, Sun has printed some funny move at some very important area, which is this area, right? So I'm going to take note of this area. Why did I choose this area? Let me show you what happened. um I think this point, you can see what happened here. You can see here, you can see here, you can see here, you can see here, you can see reaction, and you can see this reaction. So I'm very concerned about the fact that they are always stuck here. So even though they broke below it and broke above it, you can see they didn't stay long, and they have both ways they did it twice, one, two, and you can see one and two, right? So but we are still on the downside. So the question is, how far can we go? This is what we're going to find out in this analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and as well bring the support area. Now the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy always have deal with mostly support and resistance. So I'm also going to get the support resistance area. So what I got earlier was support, and this is the resistance area. So with this now, I do quite have I think I need to take note of this particular reaction right there. So I'm going to leave that line right there, and I need to adjust this one a little up. So with this particular drawing right here, I think I can go ahead and say that now let me see if I can bring in buyer's line and seller's line. Obviously the buyer's line obviously has completely been destroyed. The previous buyer's line that we were expecting was somewhere around here. I remember I made a video about that, and they completely broke all that support, right? And we are where we are today. So what will happen is I'm going to keep that line right there. The reason I'm keeping that line is, remember, history repeats itself. You can see that when they came down, they retested the line before they continued their move down. So even if they return, this line is going to be a little bit challenge for them to get above. So we're going to take note of that. So the next thing I want to bring in is the seller's line, right? So this is the seller's line. Now, something happened. Yes, I'm going to try to zoom in. We are doing this drawing on the daily chart. So I'm going to try to zoom in, and something actually happened around here. I'm about to show you what happened. So in the nutshell, what we're experiencing seems like a retest of a broken resistance area. So let me show you what the resistance I'm talking about. Let me get the drawing right. In fact, the movement of sun is something else. So okay, this is the resistance I was talking about. I was trying to get. Mostly this is caused as a lack of volume. So you can see there's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, and then they broke above it, which happens to be a fake out, right? And they returned. Now for them to continue the journey, they broke down. And it's no mistake that just like the seller's line breakout was fake out, it caused the destruction of this my support zone. So obviously where price has formed a new support zone. So what will that do for us now? That is now the question. Where we are now, what's the way forward? So this is where we are going to say a new seller's line has developed, and I'm going to try to connect it. So this is the new seller's line. Now, of which they have had two touches. Now, according to my box where they are now, of course, the daily chart, we have a good bullish sign because these candles, obviously, there was a breakout. So let me zoom in so that you see what happened. There's a sideways on the daily chart. Let's go to the 4 hours chart so that you can have a better view of this. So this is the 4 hours. So what we're seeing here is we had a breakout of a sideways that went that took place around here, right? So they had this breakout, and they returned and retested it, and you can see this is a very bullish candle on 4 hours. But the question is it also going to end up like the other seller line breakout? Because the same breakout did not just leave the consolidation that was holding on here, it actually broke the seller's line above it, and they are still currently trading above it. So let me tell you what I'm saying according to this. Here's what I'm saying. If this is going to go on according to 4 hours, chances are high that they will retest this 0.153 range, right? So the goal is, if they are to continue the move to the upside like they just did, then they could return to retest where they are now. They could return to this point. Sorry, they could return to this point. Being very honest with you. Remember, I always tell you guys that sun needs a lot of patience, and this is 4 hours chart. This is intraday chart, so this is quite going to happen soon. So they could return to this what 0.014 or 15 range, right? If they do this, it does not mean the dump is going to continue because they are just respecting this current seller line, right? And they are coming to retest the broken what? The broken sellers line. And the goal is that they will sit on top of it and continue. Now, why is this not a bad thing? It is not a bad thing because this is actually a demand area. And demand area suggests that once price is within this range, chances are high that we're going to get a bounce. But the thing about this is, I always tell you, the fact that after the redenomination, Sun, though we do not, they did not increase the market cap. They did retain the same market cap and did not increase the total supply. Yet, a lot of people sold. So, the new buyers who are coming into Sun now are trying to actually step one in foot, one in out. But the thing is, in the long run, this move is going to happen. It just needs patience. It just needs patience, especially with the way the crypto community is going. So I'm very honest with you, it's going to return, but they are going to hold up this point. The reason is I need Sun to stay within my demand zone. Anything that takes Sun out of my demand zone, I'll definitely come and update this video. And I think one of the major things that will cause that is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dump, though I do see Bitcoin on a bounce for a while, right? Even though we're going to have sideways and push back and pull and all of that, but the move is actually going to keep moving at least 44k or so. And in fact, we could see 58k, if not. That will inspire a lot of altcoin to take a bounce, and I don't see Sun being an exception. So what I see is that Sun currently has really made a triple bottom, right? Triple bottom on the 4 hours chart, which is a good thing. So if they can hold up this triple bottom, the only pullback they will get, like they are currently going, like I said, is this point, and their next target is back to 0.022. So if they get to this 0.022, they will actually face a challenge, right? From, in fact, from 0.2, they will start facing sideways because it's history repeats itself. In trading, history repeats itself. And don't ignore the move they experienced when they were going down. They will face the same challenge when they were going back up. The reason is broken support always become resistance, and broken resistance always become support. So when they were going down, I first of all show you guys about the broken internal what? Internal sellers line that they retested, right? And you can see that they retested, got overextended, and they broke down. I talked about that was the first thing I talked about. So if you look closely, you find out that their goal is to return back above the bias line. So when they return to this bias line, that's why I said I wasn't going to delete it, because they will experience another push down, another drama. The past, you can see this reaction here will repeat itself. So this is a very strong range. So once they get here, they could move, could be pushed down. So either they move from where they are, a little push down, and continue the move up, and then they could get pushed back down here before they could now come right back up, or they could even start. And if the demand is strong, because once they get above 0.2, more buyers will want to come in. But I do see that push down because of those who just entered here, especially because of boot. So they will push them down likely and move up. But when they enter above here, they will now start experiencing, they will be moving up, but they will be experiencing that sideways, just like what you're seeing here. I'll be very honest with you in my analysis. I'll tell you what is likely going to happen. It is up to you what you do with it. Patience is needed in Sun. But let me tell you, once they get above, see, my internal boxes are where these challenges are always lying, if you notice. So you see here, you see the move. Did you see that move? Did you see this move? Once they get outside of this point, you can see it was an easy run. It was an easy run. So once they are able to struggle again, they are going to struggle their way. So the struggle, let's go to, this is 4 hours chart. So let's go to weekly chart so that we can get extended target. So I know that on 4 hours they're going to get to that at least 0.022 first before we even talk about that. So let's go to weekly chart so that we can have a deeper view about what is happening on Sun. If you love this strategy, do give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, and do click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post. YouTube just have a way of notifying those who click the notification bell. They forget every other person who forget to click the notification bell, so don't be one of them. Thank you for subscribing though. So here is this what I'm saying. This weekly doesn't look so bearish to me. Chances are high that if they can stay above this point where they are now, if they can stay above this range, because what is happening is we have less than 8 hours to the closing of the weekly candle. If they can close this weekly candle above this particular candle, it is going to become a bullish candle. It will convert to a bullish reversal candle. And of course, what does that brings? It's going to bring that move up. So we could get few days or few maybe a week or so sideways, but once we are able to get into this point, it's going to be a run. So something like this is going to happen. Once we're able to get into it, it's going to be a run or a something sideways, but the point is we're going to get to this point, zero point 0.4 to 0.45 range on the weekly. So this target, this 0.42, is their main target. They will get reactions on their way, major reactions. This is where I see my major reaction. Let me tell you, so that you have a bit idea. Though by then I would have come to update this chart. Major reactions aside from 0.02, you're going to get another reaction around 0.022. Another reaction is likely around 0.3 and 0.28. Then but these reactions are just going to be pushbacks for a while sideways, then continue of the journey. So the journey is likely going to continue, but there will be pushbacks, but the move to the upside is likely going to continue. So we're going to also get to this zero point 0.4. Like I said, 3, 8 and 4, we get a reaction, and 4-1 around this range we get a reaction, then this range as well, 0.42. But these are clear thing. Now on the weekly, I do see these guys returning back here. This will make a third attack, because so far there's one attack, there's two attack, and according to my box, the more attacks I get on the top side, because there are only one and two attack, there's only one clear attack. We are just trying to make the second attack here on the downside. So we don't have clear attack on the downside. But obviously, you see, these are very close attack, telling you they are going to return on the weekly chart to that 0.05. And this time around, they are going to try to clear this guy and this guy, especially sellers, right? So they are likely going to get to at least zero point 0.6 on the weekly target. That is what I'm saying on the weekly target. Did I say 0.6? Sorry, 0.06 first. 0.06 first. That's the first thing they will need to conquer, and I know they will face the challenge of 0.05, 0.052 and 0.055 range, but they will still manage to get their legs on 0.06. Remember, this is no financial advice. Make sure you do your diligent research. So the last time frame I would like to round up this analysis on is just a brief view of the monthly chart. So I'm going to go to the monthly chart and show you what is happening on the monthly chart. Now on the monthly chart, yes, this is a very clear bearish reversal. Yes, it's a very clear bearish pattern. But the thing is, this pattern is likely going to fail because it is on a sideways, and it is going to end up as a fractal. Fractals form and fail. they form and fail, especially when market is on equilibrium, when buyers and sellers in equilibrium. And actually what is happening here is that they're on equilibrium, so chances are high that the bears are likely going to counter them and actually enter to this my 0.02 0.04 range. And if we can end up closing this month around above 0.024, it is going to be a more push to the upside. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you like this analysis, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.